Chronicles in the gym. Every punch thrown a battle from within. They see the glory, don't know the grind. Leave the weakness, leave it all behind. Let's go! Again! Harder!
Some fighters are born into greatness. Others fight their way out of darkness. Bernard Hopkins did both. Born on January 15th, 1965, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Hopkins grew up in one of the toughest neighborhoods in America. Crime, violence, survival. By his early teens, he was already in the streets, in and out of trouble, searching for direction, but finding none, until everything changed. At just 17 years old, Hopkins was sentenced to 18 years in prison after a series of violent crimes. The streets had taken control, and for many, that would have been the end. But for Bernard Hopkins, it was the beginning. Inside prison walls, something shifted. He saw the path he was on, and he made a decision to change, to discipline himself, to become something more and beat the odds. He found boxing, not as a hobby, but as a way out, a way to rebuild, a way to survive without destroying himself. After serving nearly 5 years, Hopkins was released in 1988, and he walked out with a purpose. He would never go back, not to prison, not to the life he left behind. But the road wasn't easy. His professional debut came in October 1988, and he lost. A setback, a reminder that nothing would be given. But this time, he didn't fall. He adjusted. He learned. He came back stronger. Fight after fight, year after year, Hopkins built himself into something different. Not flashy, not reckless, but calculated. A thinker, a technician, a master of control. Then came December 17th, 1994. A fight for the IBF middleweight title against Segundo Mercado. The first fight ended in a draw, but in the rematch, April 29th, 1995, Hopkins dominated and stopped Mercado. Bernard Hopkins was now a world champion, but he didn't stop there. He defended his title again and again and again. 20 consecutive title defenses, a record at middleweight. He unified the division, defeating champions across organizations, until finally, on September 29th, 2001, he faced Felix Trinidad, a superstar, undefeated, dangerous. But Hopkins broke him down, round after round, taking control, until the 12th round when he finished it. A statement victory, one that made the boxing world take notice. Then came July 16th, 2005, against Jermaine Taylor, a younger fighter, faster, hungrier. And this time, Hopkins lost, then lost the rematch. After over a decade of dominance, his reign was over. But Bernard Hopkins wasn't finished. He moved up in weight, and in 2006, defeated Antonio Tarver, a champion, a dangerous opponent, and Hopkins made it look easy. Then in 2011, at 46 years old, he defeated Jean Pascal, becoming the oldest world champion in boxing history, breaking a record that stood for decades, proving something the world couldn't ignore. Discipline can outlast youth. Then in 2014, at 49 years old, He unified titles again, defeating Beirut Shumanov. Still sharp, still focused, still in control. But time catches up with everyone. On December 17th, 2016, at 51 years old, Hopkins stepped into the ring one final time against Joe Smith Jr. And in the 8th round, he was knocked out of the ring. And just like that, his career ended. No excuses, no regrets. After retirement, Hopkins remained in the sport, working as a promoter, mentor, and ambassador for boxing, helping guide the next generation, sharing the discipline that saved his life. Because Bernard Hopkins was never just a fighter. He was proof that a man can change, that discipline can overcome chaos, that time can be defeated. Some fighters win titles, some build legacies, but very few rewrite their entire story. Bernard Hopkins did exactly that. Every legend has a story, and every king leaves a legacy. This is Ring King Chronicles. Who should enter the ring next? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more.
Champion forever.